I'm 114 days in to Semen retention now. And all you have to do is start. Just start. And then the second thing after that, the only other thing that you have to do is not stop. Not ever stop. That is it. That is how you get anything done in life. It is as simple as that. It is the hardest thing ever, but it's simple. Stop overcomplicating it and just get it started. Just get it going. With whatever it is. I'm not even referring particularly to semen retention. But with your dream life is way closer than you think. If you just start now to try to figure out what your dream life is and do everything in your power to get closer and closer and closer to that, you will. I'm telling you right now, you will. But you have to believe, you have to trust, you have to just, whenever the bad days come around, you got to just start swallowing your emotions, kick it to the side, and say, no, I made that promise to myself that I started and I'm not going to stop. Just make that promise to yourself and then don't break that promise. Your life is in shambles and you can never just fully lock in because you can't keep the promises to yourself. That is why you are struggling with that. You need to make those promises to yourself and stick to them. Otherwise, there's no point of making the promises to yourself. There's no point of telling yourself, oh yeah, I'm going to lock in this year. Oh yeah, I'm going to do all these things. Actually do it. Actually get it done this time. It takes one factor and it's you. You have to be the one to put in the work. You have to be the one to believe when nobody else will believe. It is all up to you. And as long as you can make that decision to tell yourself, I'm going to make it happen no matter what comes my way, no matter, what people say about me, I know my dreams, I'm going to follow them, I'm going to chase them. With whatever it is, whatever goal you want to accomplish, just start. You've done enough research, you've done enough whatever, overanalyzing and overthinking about, whatever, just start now. Because you don't even, you're so dependent on tomorrow. Oh, I'll start tomorrow. You get in this endless loop of tomorrow. And tomorrow just turns into months, to years, to decades. And then eventually, here's a wake-up call. Eventually, tomorrow will never come. It will never come again. You are not promised another tomorrow. But you are always promised today. Because you are here right now. You are existing right now. Use that to your advantage. Because you don't know if the tomorrow even fucking comes. So start now, so then you don't even have to depend on the tomorrow. Because you'll always be living in the today, and you'll always just be making it happen. Why are you so scared of failing? Just start. If you fail a little bit along the way, okay, that means you're trying. That just means you're fucking trying. And then dust yourself off, get the fuck back up, and just get it going again. When I started working out years ago, you think I just hopped in the gym and I knew what to do? I knew everything about, proper nutrition and all this sort of stuff? Absolutely the fuck not. I watched maybe a couple videos and then I really wanted to do it. And I told myself that I would, and then I did. And then I never stopped. I got real consistent with it. And then eventually along the way, I learned how to properly work out. I learned how to properly eat. All that stuff along the way, and I'm still learning, right? Life is an entire just learning process. But if I didn't start years ago, then I'd be in a position now where I would still want to start. But then I'd be buried by my fears. I would be so stuck in the past and just so like in this state of regret. Like, oh, I should have just done it years ago. Oh, I should. So now I can't start now. No, fuck it. Like, yeah, you probably should have started years ago, but you're only going to get older. Like, it's only going to get harder with time. You're going to have more responsibilities. You might have children. You might have this, that. Get it done now while you don't have any of those fucking responsibilities. What the fuck are you doing? You have all the time in the world. You're wasting so much of it. I know for a fact you are wasting a lot of it just on social media. You have a lot of free time where you can actually be improving yourself. You know, you have too much free time on your hands. You can use that time to maybe get a better job or get another job if, you know, you're financially cooked. You know, if you're struggling financially, you have time to get another job, get 2 jobs, get a better job, whatever. You know, you can do whatever you want to do in this fucking life. If you actually just take action, don't ever take no for an answer, ignore everyone, ignore your reality, and delusionally just go at it and get better and better and better every single day. Like, actually just be on a fucking mission. You have to be on a mission. Like, what is your mission? Everyone in a movie, everyone in an action movie, in a comic book, they're on a mission. They're doing stuff. What the fuck are you doing? You know, and I talk like this too because I'm talking to the past version of myself as well. Like, I was so lazy and I could have done so much more. But I was just so scared, man. I really, truly thought in my mind that I was delusionally doing enough. But I wasn't at all. I could have been going way harder. I could have been doing so much more. And then over time, it gets to a point where it's like, what the fuck? I've wasted so much time. And that's when you really just start to get on the throttle. And that's when you tell yourself, hey, fuck this. I'm gonna do this and be real fucking consistent with it. And then you have a little bit of friction in the beginning. It's really tough in the beginning, but then you start to do it. You start to do it a little bit more. Maybe you fail, but then you start to do a little bit more. And then you have that proper momentum. And then it just becomes part of your life. Like working out, like semen retention. It's all the same shit. Like posting these videos. You know, I'm on this every day with at least one video, maybe 2. But you just need to figure out what that is for you. And then just go at it. Just fucking start. Because you don't know where that can bring you within a year's time. A lot can change within a year's time if you actually put in the persistent action. You know, I never consistently put in the persistent action and got everything on point to where I actually grew. This is the first year in probably 7 years of my life where I've actually grown as a person. I've grown my character, and that's making me just grow everything. I'm fixing everything internally. I'm growing everything internally because I just had enough and I just started. And now it's reflecting my interior is a reflection. Well, my exterior is becoming a reflection of my interior state. Like, everything is just aligning. Everything is just falling into place because I put in that work in the past. And now I just am easily able to put in that work, right? Everything I do now just comes so naturally to me. Everything. So then at that point, you need to push harder. You need to figure out what's the next step and just start that. And then that's how you just keep on evolving as a fucking human. You're not supposed to be in this cycle of just working a 9 to 5 your whole entire life, going back and forth. Like, if you work a good 9 to 5 that you enjoy, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you work a 9 to 5 that you hate, and you've been working there for years now, and you haven't tried to get a better job or try to grow or try to really just cook up overtime and really save up money. You worked that job for so long, but you're still broke. It's because of your habits, because you don't know how to budget, because you don't know this. And it stacks up over time. It's the little like mistakes that you make throughout your days, and then it ruins your entire year when you could have built up sort of proper momentum. And that's what semen retention will do. Semen retention will help you just fix all of these things in your life and actually give you the proper momentum to actually move forward. Finally, just break that cycle of misery, that endless loop of chaos. That's what I was in for the past, I don't know, it feels like 5 years now. 5, 6, 7 years. I don't know. But you have to eventually just break out of that. And you will if you give it enough time. If you are actually persistent with your pursuit and you believe that you can. And then you just go at it. You will start to grow as a person and become better and better and better. Like you can get to a point within a couple years where you work a normal 9 to 5 and you have 100 grand saved up because you actually did the things necessary in order to save it up. You actually learned how to invest and immediately implemented it. You learned how to budget your money. You got a better job, or you got, a second job, third job, whatever, and you just pushed through. You have to swallow your emotions at a certain point and push through, because it's going to benefit your the future version of you. And then that future version of you doesn't have to be so worried and caught up on that anymore. They're figuring out the next part of their life, right? Where if you didn't do anything for the past year, now you're still at the same exact point where you just need to start. When if you would have done that a year ago, you would have made it happen. You would have made it work, and you would have been at a new point in time where you start something new, where you start something grand, and you're actually in a better position. That's how you're supposed to execute life. That's just a better way to do it and go about it. But people who do this shit in reverse. People would rather have fun and do all this shit. I mean, if you're watching videos like this, you obviously want to change. You want to actually evolve into something different and something new. So that's for those people who struggle with, how do I start, man? Just start and learn as you go. And it's with anything. Same thing with semen retention, right? A year ago, if you told me I would have went on a streak this fucking long, I would not have believed it. Not at all. Not at all. But I have, because I had enough pain, I had enough suffering, enough was enough, and I just said I was going to do it and pushed the fuck through and delusionally believed that I could. And now I'm here. This is the beginning of it. But I'm in a better position than I was a year ago. 100% in every single way. My health is so much better. My just energy is so much better. My finances are so much better. My momentum with life is just so much better. Every day I look forward to life. I used to dread every day waking up and not knowing what was next. But I know exactly what is next. But I don't get too caught up in that. I just go about my day and know that, the next part of it is going to come if I just make today the best day possible. Take it one day at a time. Make today just a better day somehow. Make a little bit more money. Stay a little bit longer at your job, or make sure you eat a little bit cleaner. Start by making your bed if you don't do that. I don't know, just little wins, stack it up like that. And then eventually you'll become stronger, just more and more powerful. And then you will be able to strike harder goals. because the goals won't be as hard anymore because you're at a different point in life. You're at a different position in life, you know? It's like someone starting from $0 trying to get to $1 million. It's going to be, the hardest thing ever. But then if they eventually do it and they get to that goal of $1 million, then making the $2 million now is just a lot easier because they have that backed up belief now. They have that momentum and nothing can stop them. You know what I mean? So you just have to push past that very beginning stage of it all with whatever it is. If you want to go down, some sort of business endeavor, whatever it is, you just have to push past that little beginning stage of it and then proceed forward. And then you will be, you'll be shocked at how much your life can change within only a year. Only a year of just being so focused on your vision, on your momentum, on just your life that you want to create. Just being so focused and honed in on that, you'll actually start to make the change in your life. You'll actually start to admire yourself for it. You'll actually start to be proud. And then that'll just bounce off of itself. You're more proud, you're in a better state of mind, and then you just keep on going. Once you have that momentum, that's all you ever fucking needed. So start to build that momentum now. Don't wait around. Nobody's going to come and tell you this. Nobody's going to come and help you with this. It is all on you. It is all up to you. And it is incredibly fucking hard. It is difficult. This is why most of the world doesn't do it. They ignore it until they just inevitably get too old and die. They die with their dreams. The graveyard is filled with men that, thought that they had just a little bit more time. But you don't. And you don't know what tomorrow brings. So just give it your all today. And then you can make it happen. With enough time, with enough patience, you can make it happen. And truly try to get better. Figure out how to get better in whatever craft you're trying to pursue. Actually get better. That's a part of the equation as well. You have to try and get better. You can't, get stagnant and just keep on doing the same thing that might have worked years ago. No, you have to evolve with it. Otherwise, you'll get to a point of stagnation and you'll think that things aren't working anymore. When you just have to, take a second and realize, okay, it's time to push a little bit harder again. It's time to actually improve a little bit more. Like with training. Oh, maybe I got to start, training this directly. I haven't really trained my abs too well. Let me really hone in on my abs and bring that up in my physique. Or maybe let me dial in my diet a little bit better. Let me stop taking so much caffeine. Let me get a little bit more rest. Things like that. And then you'll get to a point where you're eventually almost at a perfected state. And then just try your very best to hold that. And then just keep on moving forward. That's it. The equation of life is very, very simple. If you just write it down on paper, if you just had a character and you told him yo, do this, do this, do this, and you will succeed inevitably, they would do it. They would just do it. Okay. If they had no emotion. But we get so caught up in our emotions and how we're feeling that day, how we're feeling in the moment, that we forget our overall goals. Write these goals down and look at them every single day. Not even just in your notes app, but just in a notebook, in a physical notebook. Look at them every day, recite them in your head, and then just start going for the day. And then make sure that this day is better than the last. And then just keep doing that over time. And eventually, you will get to your desired goal. I guarantee you, you will. You'll be so surprised at where you land within a year of actually giving it your all. So don't ever stop trying. Don't let, nobody get in your fucking way. Just chase your dreams and realize that You need to start now. You need to start now. It's not like, oh, you should start now. No, just start now. I love you guys like always. Stutter.